Another Jessica Tarlov moment I want to look at, of course, she is, since we're starting a new segment, the liberal host on the panel The Five on Fox News, and is incredible in explaining factual information as it rattles her co-host to the nth degree. It's very fun to see. And in this situation, the kind of caption when this clip was circulating was facts versus just asking questions. And you'll hear the host just sit there. And as she's debunking one of the central claims of the accusations against Biden being this big criminal and all the things we've talked about Republicans being incapable of proving, and she is going through that when it comes to the Victor Shokin portion of this story. And I'll get into more depth after the clip what is being talked about here in case you missed some of it. But as she's going through that and actually citing evidence and laying out facts, her host or her co-hosts are just going, no. Well, why? What about this? Well, what about this? No, that's not true. And it shows you, even if you were kind of blurry on who actually is being honest here, it quickly becomes very clear, if you didn't already know based on the track record of these different individuals, based on their delivery and providing of evidence. Take a look at this.
Biden fired Victor Shokin with the support of the entire European Union, the International Monetary Fund, the Ukrainian parliament, all voted to kick him out because the guy wasn't doing his job. He wasn't investigating corruption.
You know who wasn't into firing him, though? The Obama administration. The Obama administration said, yeah, they weren't so corrupt, we can keep them there.
That's not true.
Sure
and it was Joe Biden's purview.
It is
okay.
True.
Victor Shokin's deputy, a guy named Vitaly Casco, has even confirmed that he wasn't investigating. Burisma, Marie Yovanovitch, our own U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, George Kent, all confirmed it. If you think that the entirety of the international community cares enough about Hunter Biden's $50,000 a month to keep someone in an office.
Why would Joe Biden want him gone then?
Because he wasn't doing his job. Because
why doesn't Joe Biden care about other prosecutors? Why does he care about this one guy on his son's company?
Why would he want him gone, Jessica?
He would want him gone because he was hired to investigate corruption and he was not doing so.
So he wanted Burisma investigated.
He did, actually, and that's, I think you forget, what a great segue. So when Devin Archer testified before the Oversight Committee, that's exactly what he said. He was being asked about this, Victor Shokin's role. He told them that he was, quote, good for Burisma. And then he agreed with the statement that Shokin didn't pursue corruption investigations against Burisma's owner. You should watch it. It's the exchange with Dan.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true. Read the transcript. True. Dan Goldman was the one that was asking him questions.
Victoria Nuland.
And all they have is either, let's move on, or, well, why would they do that then? Or, that's not true. As she's citing the evidence right there. That's not true. Well, how is it not true? I don't know. And that shows you the difference in honesty. So in case you missed some of this, let's break it down again. Victor Shokin, at the time at issue here, was the top prosecutor in Ukraine and was supposed to be looking into investigating and prosecuting corruption. And he wasn't, and he himself was corrupt. And so the international community wanted him fired, and the United States was attempting to pursue anti-corruption measures in Ukraine specifically, and thus that was in line with the broader effort, as was endorsed by our European allies and the broader U.S. government stance on Victor Shokin. And so Vice President at the time, Joe Biden, pushed for the firing of Victor Shokin. Now that by itself already starts to debunk the idea that then he would have been bribed to, in an effort to protect Burisma, push for the firing of Victor Shokin, because why would they bribe him for something that already he was going to do because of the broader stance on this guy? But then we learn that, as Jessica Tarlov was saying, Burisma, based on the testimony of who was supposed to be a big bombshell witness for Republicans, Devin Archer, the former business associate of Hunter Biden, testified to the fact that Victor Shokin, not only was he already going to get fired likely because of the pressure by the global community, and VP Joe Biden at the time was right in line with that, but also Victor Shokin was corrupt indeed in the direction of benefiting Burisma, and thus Burisma's executives liked him being in that position of authority because he was technically overseeing investigations, and maybe he was overseeing one into Burisma. And so it seems like possible accountability could be present, but they knew he was corrupt and wasn't going to actually seek accountability. And thus they wanted him to stay there, because if someone else came into that position, who knows what was going to happen to Burisma. Burisma being the company that Hunter Biden worked for. And so, by the way, the allegations against Burisma also took place before Hunter Biden was working there, as an extra note there. But now the narrative is, I guess, based on all the holes in their story, that Joe Biden was bribed by his son's company, or just did this to help his son's company. And the thing he did was bad for his son's company, and also happened to be in line with what the European allies wanted, and what the United States government broadly wanted, and the broader anti-corruption effort in Ukraine. And all of it makes no sense. And I should know, I've been using the term bribed. That's one of the allegations that they can't substantiate. Possibly here they're just saying he did it to help Hunter Biden. Either way, as I just told you, it doesn't work. And as she referenced, here's the question to Devin Archer, the former business associate of Hunter Biden, that they said proved a bunch of stuff when he absolutely did, or he did prove things. It was just not good for their story. Question. So based on everything you saw, heard, and observed, did you have any knowledge of Joe Biden having any involvement with Burisma? Answer. No. And then, let's see, no evidence that's more there. And I need to get to the Victor Shokin part specifically. But so do you have any basis to believe that Vice President Biden's call for Shokin's removal was driven by anything other than the U.S. government's anti-corruption policy in Ukraine? Answer, yeah, I have no proof or thought that he's three that's, he fired him for that reason. You have no reason to believe otherwise, just confirming. I have no reason to believe. Not to mention, as we've also talked about, they made a big deal of, oh, there were situations where because Biden was constantly on the phone with his son, Hunter Biden, which makes sense, it's his son. And also it was talked about that specifically after Beau Biden, the brother of Hunter Biden, son of Joe Biden, passed away, they were on the phone a lot, which again makes sense. And because Hunter Biden did have business going on, if he happened to be in the room with business associates to impress them, he would put his dad on speakerphone. So it was asked, okay, then what was talked about? Did Joe Biden start talking about business stuff with him? Was he in on the business? And the question was, the conversation, or here's the answer, the weather and niceties was the subject of the conversation if Biden was put on speakerphone. So heck yeah, as is annoying that he has this ability, Hunter Biden was putting his dad on speakerphone to impress his business associates, which every person with a powerful parent would do. But Joe Biden doesn't have control over that. He does have control over if he talks about something inappropriate with them based on the authority he has in the U.S. government. And Devin Archer said the weather and niceties. That was the subject of conversation. But still, they have the gall to say that Joe Biden, or at least they have the gall to say they've proved that Joe Biden was caught up in a corrupt act of some kind. Now, I know, as I will continue to say, for my full show, reoccurring, consistent viewers, it can feel like, my goodness, we've debunked this 328 gazillion times. Why are we on it still? And the reason is because if you go and check in, as I have to do on, for the sake of my show, on right-wing media, it is non-stop pushing these ideas, but the dishonest version. It is non-stop accusing Biden of being bribed, of being corrupt, of trying to help Hunter Biden. And so if they're going non-stop, 24/7, clip, constantly, then I have to at least throw into the algorithm the debunking here and there more often than I would usually, so that there's truth kind of balancing out the lies. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are able to be uploaded to the YouTube channel, plus get the bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.